What's going on? No, I'm just kidding. Hi, YouTube. Hello. Hello.
Greetings.
What's up, YouTube? Season 13 is out for Overwatch. There's some people that are a little upset about it. I'm actually kind of surprised. Let's take a gander. So, what do we have here? Patch notes, October 15th, 2024. That's today. Season 13, Season of the Spellbinders. I'll go into this in another video. It's okay. The battle pass this season is pretty bad. In my opinion. Pretty bad. So, time and place for another video. Moving on, right? We have another collab, My Hero Academia. I have never seen the show. I'm sure these skins probably are gonna do well, but unfortunately, unless there's some interesting game mode that incorporates who these skins are for and their uniqueness to the show or something like that, you know, to give us a brand new fresh game mode or something like that. It's just another reason that Blizzard gives you to open up your wallet. Don't hate me, I'm just being honest. A lot of the content creators around this game don't. So, just being honest. It's just another reason. Open up your wallet and pay for overpriced skins. So, take that for what it is. Moving on. Halloween Terror 2024. I actually want to read this really quick. This Halloween, the Halloween Terror event delivers a spooky good time with both brand new and returning game modes. Okay. Experience the eerie madness of Junkenstein's Laboratory, a fast-paced team deathmatch where you can enhance your heroes with a powerful cursed talent cards. I've seen a few snippets of some of the talents. They look like probably something out of the PvE that was scrapped. So it's nice to see them, but I would have preferred an actual PvE mode, game mode, whatever it is, you know. We do have this right here that everyone population 0 . So it's not like we don't already have a missions tab to begin with. So anyway, then returning to the chilling co-op adventure of Junkenstein's Revenge, battling hordes of zombie omnics and monstrous bosses. For context here, this Junkenstein's Revenge, this is the original PvE game mode, Halloween game mode, whatever you want to call it, that was first introduced way back in Overwatch 1 days. And I'm over this game personally. I don't care what they've done to this game mode. I don't care if they've added more mutators or whatever it is. I'm not playing this. If my friends want to play it and they need someone like a fourth or whatever it is, I guess I'll play it. But me willingly playing it on my own, no. I've had enough Junkenstein, everything. So, unfortunately, you know, Blizzard kind of lacks in that whole ingenuity department. So, just a lot of the same, I guess. Whatever. Finally, uncover the terrifying secrets of Aldersbrunn in Wrath of the Bride. I probably said that wrong. Sorry. I'm sure people will let me know in the comments. A gripping PvE experience filled with puzzles, haunted castles, and jump scares. Face the frights and conquer the terror. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Hero Mastery. I've said this in other videos, and I will say it again. I think this is just filler. It's kind of boring. Kind of just meh down the middle. I know some people really like this stuff. And if they do, enjoy. For me, but anyway, general update, interactive scoreboard. Give players easier access to social features, especially on controllers. We've added the ability to interact with the scoreboard. Interesting. The interactive scoreboard is intended to make reporting faster and easier, but also to improve your social experience through whatever channels you prefer to communicate in or avoid entirely. So then we'll be able to, okay. I mean, that's a nice little quality of life. Following features are now accessible via interactive scoreboard. Adjusting mic volume of other players, your mic volume. Oh, cool. Recording players, nice. That probably should have been, yeah. Joining chat, leaving chat, multi-team text. Okay. I mean, yeah. This is good. You know, probably should have been in the game long time ago, but hey, we're here now, right? So, okay. Nice. We'll take it for sure. Matchmaking updates. Developer comment. We're not seeing any measurable impact from this tech in preventing lost streaks, and we are concerned it might be making queue times longer, so we're scaling it back for now. Tuning changes to reduce queue times for wide matches in competitive play. Lost streak avoidance tuned down to prevent cases where it could increase worst case scenario queue times. Interesting. Right. Developer comments. We believe the match quality improves significantly when you are matched closely with one of the members on the opposing team in the same role. We believe we can tighten this preference without significantly impacting queue times. I would agree to this if the actual ranking system was more accurate to you as an individual and not more of just a broad general number for you as a player. So in theory, it sounds good. And in other games where there is such a thing as like performance based like SR and stuff like that, this would really shine. But in a game like Overwatch, where the person who goes 6-12 and the person who goes 30-2 gets the same SR. Yeah. Anyway, role delta tuning tight to try to match ranks on the roles on each team more closely. I have seen a little snippet about this where some people have made this be a huge sorry, got a motorcycle driving by. Big motorcycle fan, but not while I'm recording my videos. Anyway, I have seen little snippets where individuals have made this about if you match the tanks closer or whatnot, it prevents steamrolls and stuff like that. I think that's hilarious because if there's a steamroll, it's not always the tank's fault. Sure, it could be the tank's fault, but it's not always the tank's fault. Sometimes you have dog supports and you have dog DPS players. So this is probably good all around. Hopefully this will help tremendously. Moving on. Developer comments. We've been thinking about how to improve the tank experience from every angle. Bring the second tank back. You will improve it greatly. To give them more even matchups and reduce one-sided matches for the whole team further. Interesting. Once again, I already said this earlier, and I will say it again. Just because there is a landslide on one side does not mean it's because of necessarily a tank difference. Sure, that's a thing, but it's not always the case. So, moving on. Developers' comments. At our highest ranks, these modifiers could sometimes allow very high skilled players playing on new accounts to get lucky and surpass their peak ranks considerably without actually earning their new rank like other players. They have played on more, sorry, I messed that up there. Rank like other players that have played more on their accounts. At higher ranks, the effects of MMR decay, winning trend, losing trend, and calibration have been reduced. Sure. Okay. I mean, to be fair and honest and transparent and real, the ranked scene in this game is very lackluster. So, whatever they can do to incentivize players to play it more, or outside of the streamer, of course. Developer comments. At the highest ranks, groups have had noteworthy advantages against teams composed of all solo players for some time now. It's kind of a duh, sure. I mean, you could say that with any rank, honestly. You know, probably plat and up. You know, if you got a team of 4 versus a team of all solos, I mean, yeah, obviously, to some degree, the team with all 4 friends are going to perform better. But anyway, I digress. Our aim with this edition isn't to remove the advantage of grouping at higher ranks entirely, but we'd like the advantage of grouping at higher ranks to be less extreme. At higher ranks, the matchmaker now takes into account the benefits of grouping when constructing matches. Shouldn't it have already done that, though? Okay. All right. Time for the patch notes. Why everyone's pissed off. Let me get my tea, coffee going here. All right. Developer comments for general. This change adds more friction to counter swapping, especially in the stream case where 2 players on the opposite teams are both sitting in spawn with the scoreboard open and rapidly switching their heroes in response to each other's choices. Swapping your hero hides your selection on the enemy scoreboard for 15 seconds. Blizzard, you completely Blizzard is the meme where the person's sitting on like in the picture and then the point flies over them and it's like you just missed the fact that counter swapping is that effective should be your concern, not the fact that people are choosing to maneuver in the space that you've created in a way that can try to secure them some sort of win or some sort of victory when it comes to the online ranked. You're focusing on the wrong thing. But what's new? It's Blizzard. Let's continue. All right, Mauga. Developer comment. Increasing the duration of Mauga's burn effect will help better reward going for the smaller, harder to hit target. Incendiary gun. Ignite damage over time. Duration increased from 3 to 4 seconds. Nice little micro buff to Mauga. I guess he's getting the Orisa treatment now. So give it a couple more patches and then Mauga will be meta. And then it'll just be a nice little cycle of Orisa's meta, then Mauga's meta. Orisa's meta, and Mauga. Because pretty sure Orisa's meta now because, I don't know, it's not like they do these micro buffs to Orisa or anything, and then she just slowly creeps up the meta again over and over again. It's never happened before. Anyway, moving on. Ramatra. Developer comments. Ramatra's pummel projectiles passing through barriers was a source of frustration for players trying to protect themselves or their abilities, or I'm sorry, or their allies. I'm kind of going through my head right now, and I'm thinking of any sort of time frame where I ever had a conversation with someone and I explicitly said Ramatra being able to punch through barriers has caused me so much frustration, and I'm drawing a blank. I'm going to assume that's probably what many other people are probably going to say, because that's just not a thing. That might be something that you would hear down in Elo Hell, down in low gold, silver, whatever it is. No shade, by the way. But Ramatra punching through barriers is a part of his kit. That would be the equivalent of complaining about Queen's knife having lifesteal. It's a part of the hero's kit. It's a part of that hero's individuality. So instead, it looks like we're taking it away now. With these changes enabling Ramatra to do critical damage to barriers, he will still be a valuable hero. Yeah. He will still be a valuable hero choice against barrier mechanics, but won't immediately apply damage to players on the other side. So you've taken away his one uniqueness compared to all the other tanks. I mean, yeah, he's got the Nemesis form, he can do all that stuff, and obviously that's unique within itself and whatnot. But his thing, right? His thing was that he could punch through barriers. That was his thing. So now he can't do it. Now he just 2.5 times more damage to barriers. So instead of making him the I don't care about your barriers guy, instead you've turned him into I punch the barriers guy. So this is unfortunate, especially for any Ramatra player out there like myself. Very much a big enjoyer of Ramatra. I know a lot of people talk on his whole kit that he's boring or whatever it is. I think he's a lot of fun personally. I don't play him a lot just because, there's other tanks that, are just strong because, Blizzard has snapped their finger and they are now the flavor of the month or whatever it is. But it's really sad to see them do these types of things, because I've said this in other videos, and I will continue to say this until I'm done playing this game. Blizzard has, like, this whole developer comment, for example, right? They make the comment here of saying that the pummel was a source of frustration for players trying to protect themselves or their allies. Who? Where? How? Just people complaining on social media, right? Was there some like Q&A somewhere, and there was an overwhelming number of people that said Ramatra punching through barriers is the top priority when it comes to balancing the game? I'm gonna probably say no. So unfortunately, Blizzard has yet again done what Blizzard does best, and they made a decision based off of something that is very insignificant. So now Ramatra has lost his his uniqueness, and now he's just going to be a shield buster, which we already have shield busters, you know? Kind of unfortunate. So, but you know, let's be fair. The tank role is always taking L's. Let's be honest with you. So, but anyway, all right, moving on. Reinhardt, developer comments. This is just some fine tuning for the barrier health and regeneration rate, as it had become slightly too tough to break through. Once again, it became slightly too tough to break through. How did you measure this? Where did you get this metric from? And then on top of that, are there people saying these things? Where do you get this information from? When I play Reinhardt with my 1600 HP shield, it's always about to break. It's always about to break. You know, obviously, if you're any good at Ryan, you know you don't let the shield break. So half the game, my shield's at less than 100 HP because I put it up for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and it's about to explode already. So as someone who plays a lot of Reinhardt, I can tell you without a doubt, definitively 100% on this hill, people were not having trouble breaking through the shield at all. Not at all. So this was just a nerf Reinhardt. So good job, Blizzard. Good job. Hanzo. Developer comments. We are reverting Hanzo back to his previous health now. So why did we go through all of that with Hanzo just to end up right back where we started when Widow was Widow the entire time? You know, why did Widow not get the Hanzo treatment? I genuinely want to know. Why did Widow not get the Hanzo treatment? You know, why was Hanzo put through the grinder like his brother, Genji? Why are they put through the grinder and just spat out? And, you know, in the off chance that enough people complain about something to where now we just slowly end back up where we originally started. Why? What's the point? Congratulations. You pissed people off for no reason. You wasted people's time. You got people frustrated, and you made people not like your game even more. Blizzard does this all the time. Hanzo's not the first one where this is happening, right? We just did a full circle on Hanzo, and then we end up right back where we started, and it's like, why? We know why. Because Blizzard can't balance their game. That's why I'm surprised that everyone's so upset. I'm not surprised when I read this. Sojourn. Oh, sorry. Base health increased from 225 to 250. Okay. Like I said. Anyway, developer comments. These railgun changes swap out the 25 minimum energy it decays for a longer time period, or to a longer time before it begins to degenerate, which alleviates some of the pressure to quickly use the secondary fire. Okay. Disruptor shot is getting a damage increase to help its effectiveness as an area denial tool. Interesting. And along with additional utility through generating a small amount of railgun energy to make it more broadly useful. Okay, I mean, the disruptor shot was useful, I guess. I mean, if we want to just look at it as a whole, disruptor shot was more useful when it slowed the people or the players in the actual shot versus what it does now, where it just does a lot more damage. So energy no longer stops degenerating at 25 energy. Time before energy generation begins or is increased from 7 to 12 seconds. Okay, you can basically keep your energy for a lot longer. Okay, I mean, I don't think that's terrible for sure. Damage per second increased from 60 to 80. That's quite a bump. Now it generates 25% of damage done to enemy players as railgun energy. So I don't play Soj too often, but the last time that I did play her, one thing I can tell you is that I had full charge all the time, and I was, you know, just doing what most Sojourns would probably do. You know, you shooting the tank, you know, whatever it is, get full charge, and then you rail shot a squishy, right? You just rinse and repeat. Shoot the tank, rail shot a squishy, tank, rail shot a squishy, right? But I had energy nonstop. So this is just gonna make it to where she just has energy all the time. So hopefully she doesn't turn into a spam hero where it's just rail shot, rail shot, rail shot, rail shot, rail shot, you know. So Um, that's the only thing that I fear when I read stuff like this. So, I guess we'll see. So fingers crossed on that. So, but I'm willing to entertain it for right now and see what happens. So. All right, Sombra. Developer comments. This is a significant change to Sombra's playstyle in the hopes of making her more interactive for the opposing team and shifting some of her power from the utility of stealth and hack to increased lethality. Interesting. So, stealth having a limited time duration less than the translocator cooldown is intended to create brief windows of vulnerability. It still enables Sombra to cross through dangerous areas unseen, but to really hang around in the enemy backline will require moving from cover to cover, similar to other flanking heroes. Okay. Other flanking heroes. Let's see. So we have what? Tracer. She has blinks, and they're on a relatively small cooldown, so she's always getting around. So she can get around because of those blinks relatively easily. Genji. Genji can climb walls. Sombra can't. He can climb walls without a cooldown. He also has a dash too that recharges when he kills somebody. Sombra doesn't. But what other hack or what other Reaper? Reaper can wraith, and he can teleport a great distance too. So I don't know if it's fair to, or I'm sorry, fair is probably the wrong word. I don't know if it makes sense to compare Sombra's flanking utility to those flanking heroes because they all have their kits that make them very mobile. Reaper maybe not so much, but you know, he can cover a great distance within that one ability. It's got a relatively small cooldown. So. But anyway, let's keep going. No longer having the stealth movement speed remove upon taking damage also enhances its usefulness as an escape tool. When I read something like this just kind of gives me the idea that there's going to be more players playing Sombra in the lower elos, and they're going to be doing absolutely nothing because they're trying to move from place to place, and they've got to move between cover to cover, as Blizzard's saying here, with their cooldowns. And there's already many players that get infuriated at Sombra players when they're invis for half of a team fight and they come out of invis towards the end of the team fight trying to help, and then they wonder why the team's mad at them when they're basically 4v5 for 3/4 of the match. Anyway, there's many other examples. I'm not going to get into those, but when I read this just makes me think that's going to be more of the case, where the Sombra player is going to be doing more of just trying to stay alive versus actually engaging in the actual fights and whatnot. So, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. All right, hack. No longer in stealth, but does reveal Sombra. Okay, that's interesting. Hack ability lockout effect duration reduced from 1.5 to 1.0 second. EMP duration unchanged. Bob hacked stun duration reduced from 10 to 3 seconds. That's quite a buff to Bob. That is quite a buff. And Bob also has the tank passive as well. So that's a big Bob buff. Translocator cooldown increased from 5 to 7 seconds. Okay, sure. I was a fan of changing the translocator in terms of its utility and how it's used now, just because I thought it was pretty lame that Sombra could just have a translocator sitting somewhere on the complete opposite side of the map, and she just had to get out of jail free button at all times. So, but we'll see. 5 to 7 seconds. At 2 seconds, we'll make a little bit of a difference for sure. EMP cost is increased by 12%. I feel like this is probably going to hurt the character more than anything, only because I feel, like I said earlier, the Sombra players are not going to be as active as they once were, just because they're not able to just fully run around in invis and, you know, set up or do whatever they're doing, right? Versus now they're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to, like Blizzard says, move cover to cover. Back to what we were doing before we were rudely interrupted. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, I feel like the EMP cost is going to hurt the hero a lot, considerably, compared to some of these other changes, purely just because of the fact that I feel like the with these Sombra reworks and changes, the Sombra players are not going to be as active or contributing as much to the fights. So it's just going to take their ultimate even longer, on top of the fact that it's going to increase. So obviously, we will find out. So I guess time will tell. Stealth no longer passive and now activates by using Translocator. Now has a 5-second duration. Added a stealth timer around this reticle and removed the ability icon. Taking damage now reveals Sombra for 1 second instead of stealth. Opportunist passive has been added back in. To be honest with you, I don't remember what this passive did. So, but okay. Increases Sombra weapon damage versus hacked targets by 20%. See critically injured enemies through walls. It's nice to have this utility, but try getting this information out to your team. So this, I can't remember the last time anyone was in chat that remotely conveyed anything useful, but we'll see. All right, well, they took a dump on Sombra and people are surprised. I don't know why. They've done it before with other heroes. I don't know why this is somehow being treated as a new incident. Blizzard has done this before, so I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. So moving on. Support. Baptiste. Developer comment. This change is aimed at reducing the fatigue Okay. Resulting from controlling the recoil over longer periods of play, more than trying to add power to Baptiste's primary fire. Primary fire recoil reduced by 30%. But Blizzard, you do realize when you reduce how much the weapon moves, you indirectly increase how effective the weapon is, right? You do realize that, right? I mean, BAP 76 was a meme for a reason, because BAP and Alari specifically are DPS players or DPS heroes cosplaying as support heroes. DPS BAP and DPS Alari are just way too strong. So the fact that you made his gun even more accurate, now he's stronger. So you're trying not to add power to Baptiste's primary fire. Well, then you maybe should have reduced the damage it did a little bit, because you increased how accurate it is. So anyway, you would think people who developed a shooter game would know that. Moving on. Brigitte developer comments. Brigitte's healing output over the course of a match is quite high. Her healing output is high if the Brigitte player is playing well. If the Brigitte player is not playing well, it's not. Now, to be fair, I do know in many instances you can just kind of pop a squat around your tank, for instance, and just smack anything in that relative vicinity. And as long as your tank protects you and you play relatively well, you can get a lot of healing output right from Inspire just by getting a smack here and there and a flail here and there. I get that, but that's a part of the hero's persona, part of the hero's personality. So I wouldn't say that the healing output is quite high, because this makes it seem like it's high because of the character's whatever. I've had plenty of Brigs in my games that turbo feed into the enemy team and are dead, or can't hit a flail to save their lives, and so they're effectively the sixth player on the enemy team. So I don't know. And then on the other side of the conversation, Brig, I think as a whole, she has the highest win rate out of all the support heroes. But once again, I've said this before on stream, I've said this on other videos and whatnot. Brig is exceptionally, she is a great support. She's a great support hero. So she's one of those heroes that you really have to know the character in order to get the insane amount of value that some of these Brigitte players can get. So yeah, I just think it's kind of crazy that we choose to focus on stuff like this, for example, instead of supports like this or Alari, for example. I just think that's kind of funny. So, but okay, sure. Cooldown increase from 5 to 5.5 seconds. Sure, I don't think it's gonna do anything, but okay. And I said this earlier. Why Why go from 5 to 5.5? What metric? What metric was used to determine that 5.5 was the way to go? Juno. I definitely will say, so I was on the bandwagon from the very beginning that Juno was good. Everyone knew that who played with me. I always said Juno was good, exceptionally good. Very not overpowered, but strong, right? She doesn't have a self-heal. You've got to aim with her gun. She does have some mobility, but she doesn't have any self-heal capabilities, you know? So very, 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 very good, solid, balanced support hero. Strongest ultimate in the game now. If you're saying otherwise, you're just delusional. And but on the other hand, I also would say that she got a little bit of what I've seen other heroes do when they come out, where they get some people boosted higher than what they should be. So with these changes, you know, hopefully that will shave some of that excess fat off and you know, kind of bring people back down to where they actually belong in their ranks. So developer comments: Juno's healing output is too high for how much mobility she possesses, so we're shortening her fall off range to increase the importance of positioning well with her mobility abilities. Say that 3 times fast. Her blaster, her fall off range reduced from 30 to 50 meters and 20 to 35 meters. Healing per projectile reduced from 6.5 to 6. We'll see how it plays out. Clash, map updates. Okay. We need to have a little heart to heart on Clash, guys. Seriously. I'm not going to read through all this because Clash, I said it when Clash first came out and I got to play, you know, when they gave it to the community and we got to play it before it actually came out and whatnot. I said it then and I've been saying it now and I will say it now again. Clash is a really bad game mode. Now, here's my question to all of you, the viewers, okay? My question is, we have now been with the game long enough to where we have seen map reworks like here, right? So we've got Circuit Royale, we've got Numbani, we've got Havana, we've got Dorado, right? Right. So we got all these map changes, and some of them are incredibly substantial, right? Incredibly substantial to where they are meta changing, you know, like on Dorado on Second Point, right? Meta changing. So my question to all of you is, if Blizzard could do this with any map, why wouldn't they simply just go back to the old 2CP maps and make them more viable? Because remember, because I have the receipts for all of this. Remember, Blizzard said part of the main issue with 2CP were the maps. Well, with this update, you sure did do a lot to a lot of other maps. Why couldn't you have done the same thing to the 2CP maps? Even though I'm on the bandwagon of it's not necessarily because of the maps that 2CP was bad. It did cause frustration with how the maps were designed, yes. But the main issue, in my opinion, was 2CP. The reason why it was whatever word you want to choose to describe it is because of the heroes and the abilities and the kits that the heroes had at that time. That's why it felt so bad. Nevertheless, moving on from that, my question is, if we can do this with maps such as these, why can't we do that for the old 2CP maps and then we just bring back 2CP? Why do we have to create a new game mode that's just a distant relative of Flashpoint? You're running around capturing objectives. But in this case, Clash is simply just a back and forth. Most of my games have literally involved the middle point or the 2 points right outside the middle point. And it's literally just back and forth, back and forth. Mentally stimulating gameplay, let me tell you. So let me know down in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. I'm asking this not because I want anyone from Blizzard to respond or anything like that. I want to know what you guys think. Why can we change maps such as these or push game modes, but we couldn't do that for 2CP? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, that's it. Well, I gotta say, guys, why are people so surprised that Blizzard made all these bad decisions when it comes to all of these heroes? they've done it before. Here they are doing it again. We've got micro buffs to Malga now. Malga and Orisa are two peas in a pod. They're going to be micro buffed until they're meta again. Then they're going to be nuked. And then they just start all over again and bring them back up. Ramacha lost his identity. He lost his uniqueness. He lost his thing, right? Not punch through barriers anymore. It's really sad to see, you know. That was his thing. So we're nerfing things that made no sense, and we are making multiple reverts back to what the heroes originally were, you know, aka season 9 changes amongst other things like that. I just think it's funny. Sojourn rework might be good. We'll see. Hopefully she doesn't turn into a spam hero. The Somber rework, I don't know yet. I feel like it's going to be really bad, but we'll see. Support heroes such as Bat, for example, still busted, doing crazy amounts of damage. Literally just a DPS hero cosplaying as a support. So all in all, yeah, the map changes, I'm not going to go over them because I know many of other people have already gone over them. I think for the most part, they're good. Took a long time, but that is Blizzard, right? So anyway, all right, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Make sure to like and follow, subscribe, please. It really does help. It takes 2 seconds, but it really does help with the algorithm for sure. Guess we'll catch you guys in season 13. I got a battle pass video coming up the next couple days, and we're going to talk about how much of a disappointment this battle pass is this season. So stay tuned, and I will catch you guys in the next video.